everyone, I'm Jaysinn616 and welcome to this very special Q&A video. I've been wanting to do this for a little while and I've been doing this over a year now, and I thought, you know what, it's about time that I reached out and then spoke to those fans of mine, those people that watch my content and always give me the thumbs up, and just to show general appreciation for all of you guys. So I did something about 3 weeks ago where I threw it out to everyone that follows my socials and follows my content and everything I do, and said, hey, is there something you want to ask me? I'm going to be making a video and I'm reaching out to you guys because I want you to be able to throw something at me, whether it's something to do with my channel, how I record this, what my setup looks like, or even personal stuff like anything. Ask me about why my eyes are blue or anything like that. Just anything that you may have wanted to talk to me about or ask me a question of. And I threw it out to you guys. And I do notice, and I'm not just saying this, I do notice those regulars that are always liking my Instagram posts, always on my YouTube, you know, commenting there saying, shit, that was some good stuff, mind my language. I'm watching. You're not just another number, you are part of what I call my 616 family, so I keep an eye on who those people are. So I went out and I noticed these people, I threw it out there and I asked you guys a question, and I'll read it out and I'll pop it right here. So any questions, if I'm mumbling, if I'm talking too fast, I am British, that's what I do. Look here, okay, look here, I'll put the answers up there. So first of all, this is what I said. Hey, thanks for always liking my photos and such. You're one of the ones, and this is Instagram, you're one of the ones that always seems to like my photos, and I appreciate the support. I have a video I'm preparing for, a Q&A with questions from my followers. And that's how we got here. So, do you have anything you would like to ask me or have me answer? I'm trying to give back to my loyals and make this a kick-ass video, and I hope it will be. Can be gaming, non-gaming related. Either way, looking forward to hearing from you. Okay, so that's what I threw to you guys, and I'll tell you what, I had some really good questions come in, and some of these might go a lot deeper than I ever thought they would. I just want to say thank you very much. Like, some of you guys really appreciate it and really appreciated being noticed that way, and you know, we'll go from there. So here we go. We're going to start off, and I will say you all guys' names. So hey, maybe it's a bit of advertisement for you guys. Hey, maybe some people can go, and you know, these people are cool people, so if you don't, go and follow them, because the people that came back to me, I was blown away, okay? I was blown away, I'll put it that way. So first of all, let's go with this one. Starting off big, at Dark Knight 9620 Gaming. Sure thing. It might come across as cliche, but what is your favorite video or favorite game of all time? Okay, so favorite game of all time. There is only one game that would sit at the top of my list for my favorite game of all time. That would be from the franchise up here, and that is The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time on the N64. Boy, oh boy, I was a latecomer to The Legend of Zelda's franchise, because although it was a game that I was like, it's not my thing, and keep in mind, this is back in the 64 days when the 64 came out. I'm not really a fantasy guy. Like, I don't like fantasy films, fantasy games, a lot of that stuff, not my thing. Not my thing. So I was kind of, I was iffy about actually playing it, and I was like, I'm probably not going to like it. But for when you start and turn on that game and wake up in the Kokiri Forest, it just blew me away. It was a game that I thought, holy hell, like, this is something special. And we all know that Super Mario 64, as far as Nintendo 64 is concerned, was the game that really threw that open world, like 3D kind ofness to it. And although they came out before Ocarina of Time picked up that ball and they fucking run with it. because that was such a big game and there's so much to do, and what they fitted into that game is insane, and it will forever be, in my heart, my greatest ever video game, because that game alone made me love that franchise before I even played anything else. And it killed me when the Switch came out and they released Breath of the Wild, because I was broke as hell and I saved up for about a year to get the Switch and Breath of the Wild, and I waited to play that game. And if it wasn't for Ocarina of Time, I would never have experienced my only kind of fantasy franchise that I like. So I owe a lot of my love for video games through that game alone. It was Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and that is my favourite game of all time. I don't know if anyone noticed, I do have, side way, I do have the Ocarina. I'm just missing the Master Sword, but no, I love the Legend of Zelda, I love it, and that game, the best game in my opinion of all time for many reasons. So thank you very much for the question. That is your answer. Okay, let's find another question, shall we? My phone is doing this weird thing. Here we go. Okay, what do we got? Okay, this is a good one. At the _retro_gaming_attic. Sure. First console I bought with my own money was the PS1 in 1997. Good work. It took me months to save for it. As such, this console has a special place in my heart. Which console is the most dearest to you and why? Really, really good question, this one, okay? This is a really good question. I've got an itchy nose. I think I'm getting a cold, so bear with me for that. I didn't want to delay this video anymore. Okay, so console I hold dear to my heart would be the Super Nintendo, the SNES. If you've watched some of my videos, you will know I've mentioned it quite a few times now, but I'll put it here. This might be the last time I say this, and no problems to you. You may have not known this, but it's Super Nintendo, because when I'm from England. I grew up in West London, just outside of London, the main heart of London, Hayes. My grandma lived in Scotland, so we would go up and visit Peebles a couple of times throughout the year. And me and my brother went over there because I have an older brother. You've met him on my channel. Shout out to Ryan. He plays a lot of games with me if things get loud and cuss words happen. Not back here though, because I was about 3 years old, he was about 4. And we were over there, and she got this from a car boot sale, my grandma, or a garage sale, or whatever you want to call it here in this country. And she picked it up along with 4 games. The Nintendo Scope, the SNES Scope, which we thought we were shooting stuff, but we didn't even have the scope, so we thought we were doing cool stuff. We weren't. Pit Fighter, which I won't go into, it's fucking horrendous. Desert Strike, which wasn't too bad, although as kids we didn't really understand it. And Starwing, the original Star Fox game. Shout out to the Star Fox series, because that was a hell of a series. So yeah, that was my very first experience with video games, was the Super Nintendo. And funny enough, you guys haven't seen my setup, but over here when I record on my channel, I use the actual proper consoles. And the Super Nintendo that I've got, the Super Nintendo I've got sitting on my shelf is the same one from back then. I kid you not, I got the same freaking one, and I still have the same cartridges down here from back in the day too. And the Super Nintendo will always have my love, because it was my birth into the world of video games. It's what made me go, oh, this is something cool, and it grew from there. So if it wasn't for the Super Nintendo, I wouldn't probably be a gamer. I mean, I may have found video games a bit later in life, but it gave me an appreciation for retro. I probably wouldn't have this channel, and I probably wouldn't be more niched into the retro market, so to speak, if it wasn't for finding out about the Super Nintendo. So thank you very much to my grandma. Rest in peace, Grandma. God rest your soul. because she is solely responsible for putting me into the video game world. So there you go. That's a bit of a story for you. I've said it in a basic way many of times, I'm sure, but there you go. That is exactly why the Super Nintendo will always be the most dearest to me. So thank you very much, the Retro Gaming Addict, for that question. That was a banger, so well done. Okay, what do we got next? Okay, at gamer.welshnut. This is my my good buddy. We talk quite a bit, and we actually met through this platform of Instagram, and he joined one of my competitions back in December, and he actually won a gift, and lo and behold, I didn't realize how expensive for my 12 Days of Christmas event it would be shipping something all the way to the goddamn Wales. And yeah, he cost me an arm and a leg, so I suppose I better give you a shout out, dude. And if you know, he also introduced me into the blogging world, so yeah, go check out www.mancavebits.com. That is his website. I do blogs there as well. Go check it out, because he's the legend behind all that. So he's a good bloke too. And this is a non-game related question. Okay, he goes, what's your #1 favorite metal song ever? Now, looking at me, yes, I have long hair. Everyone would think, oh, he's a rock and metal guy. Well, you'd be right. I was more of a metal head, I guess you'd say, back in high school. Now I'm a rock and roll guy. I like 80s rock and roll, even back to 60s, like Beatles and Hendrix and Stones, The Who, and I love all like the more glam stuff like Def Leppard, Van Halen. What would you throw in there as well? I'm drawing a blank right now. Hanoi Rocks would be in there as well. So all that kind of stuff. So that's just a few bands to throw in there. I'm drawing a blank right now. Whitesnake, other things. Anyway, that's not the point. So he wants to talk about my favourite metal song, but see, although I like them, to me, some of them might be classed as metal, but I'm not going to put them in the metal category for this. Mine's a strange one, and it's very hard for me to pick one song. What I am going to do though, is I'm going to give you one band that has influenced my life in so many ways, and they kind of forged their own genre, and there's no one that could be in that genre with them. And some people might turn around and go, Jason, you pussy. No, I like these guys, and they stay as my favourite band of all time, even though they're not together anymore, and I have them tattooed all over me. Words here is him, His Infernal Majesty. Reason being is that their lyrics, or poems, whatever you'd want to call them, have resonated with me in more ways than one, and they define their own genre of love metal, because they are metal. They might be soft metal, but they are metal, and like, hence why I've got words tattooed all over me, because it just resonates. And things I didn't used to be all happy and sunshine and rainbows, because everyone has a past, and I've never been one to hide away from that. As you know, last month I showed a video of me reacting to myself, and I shared a bit about me, and I'm sure more will happen during this video. But I had a bit of a dark past as well. I was in some not so good places going back, 7 years ago or something, and I just resonated with their music. I mean, I already loved them previous, but I fell more in love with them because I thought, holy shit, I know how, this is how I feel with the way these songs have been written. So there's one song that I will say is probably my favourite song of all time, and that is right there on my wrist. I can't really show it. There you go. No, it's not working. There you go. Can't put it that way. There you go. And that is Funeral of Hearts. Funeral of Hearts by him, because that song resonates with me a lot and has gotten me through a lot of hard times. So for that, I'm going to say Funeral of Hearts is probably my #1 favourite metal song of all time for those reasons. So yeah, You're probably thinking, that's not really that metal. Well, it is, because it's love metal, and I love it. So, yeah. Okay, so that's what we got. That's my number one metal song ever. Probably thinking like Black Sabbath or something was going to come out, but no, we're going with him. And for those reasons there, okay? So, and while we're on the subject of talking about metal and long hair and stuff like that, at Warrior1383 said, gotta support my fellow long-haired streamers. How long have you been growing your hair? Well, to be fair, my hair has gone through many transformations. I started growing my hair back when I was maybe like 11. And I'm 30 this year. I'm not 30 yet. I'm still under 30. I grew my hair as times where I had dreads. I coloured my dreads purple, blue and red. I've grown it out. I've cut it shorter. I've grown it out again. I undercut it. My undercut's grown through. That's why I'm having my hair over my face, because like it's bad, and my hair is naturally curly. This is all straightened. This is not my natural hair. The secret is out. I use hair straighteners more often than my partner, so yeah, sad thing. I don't like my curly hair, but I've been growing this since I was about 11 years old. Yeah, turning 30 this year, so a fairly long time. 19 years. But like I said, I've cut it shorter. I've grown it. I had to cut it shorter to get the dreads, etc. But I don't ever want to have a boy's haircut, as they would call it, because my head is big, and with short hair it looks bigger, so I don't want to be doing that. So there you go. I'll go about 19 years, 18 years, 19 years. It's how long I have been growing my hair, so there you go. Okay, what have we got next? Okay. At RetroDave81. No problem, brother. I just want to support like-minded people. I enjoy what you're doing. Maybe you could talk about what you enjoyed over the years and how it has influenced your life. Keep up the good work. Well, thank you. Also, thank you for supporting like-minded people like myself. I wouldn't normally say I'm like-minded, or maybe I'm crazy-minded, but I do appreciate the support as well. So, what I like doing and what it has influenced my life. So, for me, I heard something recently, like a quote, you know, when some people put like quotes on Facebook and stuff like that and you read it, and I saw something and it was someone saying that what's the difference between reading a book as to playing a video game, because video games, when you play video games, sometimes people don't understand and they say, why are you wasting your life playing video games? But it's okay to read a book. Well, to be fair, to me, and this is where and this is kind of like the adaptation from this quote, is to me, video games are pretty much exactly like books. The only difference is you're not just reading about someone else's story or someone else's, you know, experience. Video games are the same, except you are that person living that experience. So you are genuinely the person in that you are part of that world. It's immersive. Video games is immersive, so it has changed my life quite a bit in the sense that I use video games when I'm not on my channel as a way of relaxing, and not saying it isn't relaxing when I play on my channel, because although some may class this as work, this isn't work for me. This is really good fun, and I enjoy every single bit of this. I'm enjoying it so much, I'm even doing videos like this, which isn't even video game related in a sense. It's one of my expansion packs, as I like to call them. Yeah, an expansion to what I do. But it's my way of relaxing. It's my way of cooling down after a day's work, because, you know, I do work full time. This ain't my job. I work outside of this, and I'm trying to change that job because it sucks, but that's another story. Very underpaid for doing a lot of work is all I'll say. But this channel, I love it, and this is what I want to do. This is what I want to grow, and video games help me relax, and that's why I find this kind of thing easy to do. It's easy for me to get this stuff done. I enjoy it, and it helps calm me down. It makes me happy. And when you've got something to go home, and people may say, oh, that guy just plays video games. Like, maybe that's because it has the same feeling to someone else like it does to me. It's a relaxing way to just tune out from day-to-day life and immerse yourself into another environment where you feel completely different and you feel like you can escape from whatever reality that you might not like at the time. It's a huge influence. So yeah, that's how it has influenced me, and that's why I enjoy doing it. So there you go. That's an answer for you there. So I appreciate it. I have enjoyed it over many years, since I was 27 years maybe that I've enjoyed doing this. So thank you very much, Retro Dave 81. That was a killer question, so appreciate that. Okay, from Sega Lone Wolf. Okay, for me it's all about collections. So my question would be around that. What system do you have the most games for? Or your favourite system? That sort of stuff. Thanks again for reaching out. Okay, cool. Well, I've already kind of... favourite system... I said my first ever system, like that, you know, what is my favourite system ever, and I said the Super Nintendo. So, that I've kind of answered that part, okay? I've kind of answered that. My favourite system would probably be the Super Nintendo for the reasons I said earlier on. Saying that though, I do play quite a bit of 64 these days, so I'm getting a new appreciation for the 64. They stream a lot of the Nintendo 64 from the Nintendo 64, actual Nintendo 64. As you can see, my game collection down there, and I have, this isn't just all the games I have for the record, this is just what is out at the moment and on my shelf. These are my regulars and my go-tos. So to answer your question, the system I have the most games for, I'm not gonna count like downloadable games on the PlayStation 4. I'm gonna talk about games, you know, physical games I have. So collection would be the N64. The N64, I have a surplus of, I think I'm in my 70s now of cartridges for the 64. So that would definitely be, you know, the console I have the most games for. So there you go, N64 all the way. So it feels very Nintendo heavy, doesn't it? Well, see, I grew up on Nintendo. I was never a PlayStation guy until the PS2, and even that I was late to the party. It was always Super Nintendo and 64 all the way. I mean, I got my very first PlayStation 1 4 years ago, and I still haven't played Crash Bandicoot, the original Crash Bandicoot. Still not played it, although it is on my list of things to play. And I do actually have the game now. I got it for $30, the original Crash on the PS1. Could have got the Insane Trilogy, but I wanted to relive the actual experience of playing the original game. So that should be coming up at some time. Spoiler alert. Okay, cool. Okay, here we go. At Ginger_Mermaid3. Oh, you're welcome. Oh. Yes, I have a question. How many Pokemon plushies do you have? Okay. Someone has been watching my videos, obviously, on YouTube. How many Pokemon plushies do I have? I have 28. Yes, I have 28 little Pokemon plushies. Behind me when I do my videos, you can see some of them. Dratini here is poking around to be a part of the video. And same with Pikachu, which I'm really looking forward to seeing Detective Pikachu. By the way, I am recording this video in advance. It hasn't come out yet, okay? So, yes, I record videos in advance. For reasons that things can go wrong and you like to have at least something uploaded on your channel. I hate missing an upload, and I haven't done it since I started this back in, like, February 2018. So, yeah, 28 Pokemon plushies. I'll say, just to name a few, I have a Dratini and a Dragonite. I would love to get a Dragonair to fix that up. Magikarp has just missed out here, but you got the starters: Charmander, Squirtle, Pikachu, Eevee. I am yet to get a Bulbasaur. God damn it, I want a Bulbasaur. But I've also got a Gengar, and the funny thing is, my Gengar was the one in the shop. For some reason, its mouth was stitched on the wrong way. So you know how Gengar is always smiling? My Gengar is always pissed off. Like, he's always angry. He's always like, because his mouth stitched on the wrong way. So I picked up the one with the mouth stitched wrong, just so mine can be a little bit different. A bit like me, a little bit different. So yeah. 28. Maybe I should show Gengar off. I'm not going to stand up and get him down now. He's on the shelf up there. I'm going to leave him sit, you know. You might not see him, he's a ghost. you know. Alright, here's a different one. This is non-gaming related, and this one really threw me because, yeah, for reasons I'll say in a second. And that was at Guy is Gaming. Alright, that's cool, man. Smart action from you. I have just 3 questions if possible. What's your favourite movie? Your favourite actress? And who is your favourite actor? I'm not a big movie guy. Like, I'm just not. I'm more of a TV shows guy. Although, if I was to say movies, I'm very much in the horror genre. I like things scary. So, I don't know. This one's hard to pick. Because I like weird stuff. Okay, that's gonna go with favourite movie. I've got to split this between 2. And I don't know if I can pick an actual movie. I'm gonna go with, this is the inner geek in me coming out right now. That is Ghostbusters, the first movie. Definitely Ghostbusters, hell of a film. When you're born, you know how you get like a little bear? Well, I had a cuddly Slimer, which I have just put on my setup behind me now, so you might see him in videos. He was my originator. I didn't want any bears. I didn't want any of that crap. I wanted a fucking green ghost. That's how weird I was. So Ghostbusters and Back to the Future. And obviously the first Back to the Future movie, well, for obvious reasons, it's what started it all. So I can't pick between those two. It's my favourite movie. Ghostbusters was so damn good, and goddamn Bill Murray was great in that. I'm not even going to talk about the reprise one. That was shithouse. I could only do a minute of the trailer, and I couldn't bring myself to watch the rest, and I couldn't bring myself to watch the movie. It looked like a pile of shit. But the original ones, even Ghostbusters 2 wasn't that bad. Good old Lewis Tully. Very under-recognised in those movies. But yeah, Ghostbusters and Back to the Future. As far as actors go and actresses go, this is not my scene. This is not my scene. I'm going to go pretty much based off TV shows here because I feel like Californication is one of my favourite shows of all time, so I'm going to go with David Duchovny. He's up there. For some reason, when I was younger, and I always used to like Keira Knightley. I don't know what it was for actresses, so sure, we'll pick Keira Knightley. She was an attractive damn woman. Okay, she was an attractive woman. So I'll go with Keira Knightley. David Duchovny. I'll just throw some other names out there. Tom Hanks. Great guy. Go Tom Hanks. I don't know where I'm going with this. It's not my scene. It really isn't my scene, but Christopher Lloyd, great as well. I'm just gonna... Bill Murray, just gonna roll off people from the movies I like. Fuck it, I don't know. Okay, sorry, hopefully that helps. It's not my scene, like I said. It really isn't my scene, so yeah, we'll see what happens there, okay? So we'll go with that one. Good answer, Jason. Well done. Okay. Okay, so this is at The Real Jimmy Lens from Twitch. He's a streamer. I always pop in and say hello to him. He's a pretty cool guy. We were talking about the N64 during one of his streams, and was it Hexen, I think? He said his favourite, was it Hexen, his favourite game? I can't remember. I might have that wrong. I think I have it wrong. Maybe I do. I don't know. Well, go check him out on Twitch as well. He streams pretty much every day. You know, go pay him a visit. He's a really, really cool dude, and he has a variety of games he streams. I've seen him play Cuphead. Good times, man. Good times. So he said, for your video, what games got you started in the gaming world? And thanks for the support. You're welcome, dude. Thank you for the support. So what games got me started in the video game world? Okay, well, I told my Super Nintendo story, and I said Star Fox, which was Star Wing, was my very first game I really picked up and started playing the hell out of until I discovered Super Bomberman. I think Super Bomberman was the very first game I played the shit out of with my brother, and countless times of just trying to blow each other up in multiplayer mode. That was the very first game with the greatest multiplayer mode ever. Like, that game alone, I think, was the first game that ever had me hooked was Super Bomberman. So I owe a lot of my childhood to Super Bomberman. It's Bomberman 1, 2 and 3. And since I moved out for where I live with my brother, he held on to some of the Super Nintendo games, and god damn him, because he held on to the Super Bomberman games. It was so annoying, but I've slowly gotten back Bomberman 1 and 2 into my collection. 3 is like $110 for the game, and no one wants to get rid of it, so it's so damn good. But yeah, so that is something that I would probably owe a lot of my early childhood to. Along with, I'll throw in, because it's mainly Super Nintendo, I'll throw in Super Mario World, damn good. Super Mario Kart as well, even though I was never very good at it back in the day, I didn't play a lot of it. It was always good to put on and have a bit of fun in. What else would you throw in there for the Super Nintendo? Street Fighter 2. I couldn't miss it, Street Fighter 2. I'd probably say those games were the games of my childhood that had me hooked on video games. And like I said, I was late to the Zelda party. Mario was a good thing, but I think it was Mario 64 which really hooked me on Mario. So yeah, I'd say those. And it's funny because I liked, like I said, Bomberman, got into Mario, Starwing, and you know, when the 64 came out, what was it? It was Mario 64 instead of Mario World. It was Mario Kart for Mario Kart. It was Bomberman 64 for the other Bomberman games, and Lilac Wars. Don't know why. It was Lilac Wars for us. It should have been Star Fox 64, but it's for Star Wing. So I kind of followed the exact same process of games. So it still influences me to this day. And Super Mario 64, I've done an entire series of a 120 star run on that. That's up on my channel. Go and check it out. As well as I've streamed Star Fox 64 a couple of times now as well, playthroughs of that. And you know, it's those games continue. Bomberman, I've done Bomberman 1, 2 and 3 on my channel, so you can see even after all these years I've still gone back to the same games because they're so damn good. So yeah, throw them because, you know, they're special to me. Okay, they're special to me, and they got me started in the gaming world, and they have me continuing in the gaming world. So yeah, and shout out Super Mario 64 as well. I've got to stop saying shout out because I feel like I'm saying that so much. Super Mario 64 is my longest stream I've ever done, 4 hours. I did one stream of a 70 star run. Yeah, that was good fun and tiring at the same time. So yeah, check that out as well. That's up on my channel. But yeah, those games just continue on, you know, they keep going. Okay, so next question at The Legend of Kirk. Kirk is a good streamer from England as well. He's a pretty cool guy. So go check out The Legend of Kirk at Twitch and Instagram. You'll see his name pop up here probably. I have a couple of questions for you related to gaming. Gaming, here we go. What is your earliest gaming experience that you remember that got you into gaming today? And what would you say is your all-time favorite arcade experience? Very, very good question with the arcade experience. As I said just before, Star Wing was probably my first gaming experience that I really put on and played. So I kind of answered that one. Arcade experience. See, I didn't really go to the arcade. I was in that age bracket. I was born in '89, so it was console games were really the thing. So arcade games, I didn't really go to the arcade to play games. In saying that though, we have a place called Time Zone, and that is kind of like your arcade here. It's not as good as probably what's in the rest of the world. And we did sometimes have Tekken in there, and like Time Crisis with the guns, I think. You know, gun controllers. Pardon me. But it's gonna be weird saying this. My arcade, you know, the things I remember from the arcade is air hockey. I remember some of my friends used to go in there and have an air hockey like round robin or competition in the arcades. Because I had most of the fighting games and the shooting games, like I had it at home. So I didn't want to go and pay money to play it in the arcade. It just seemed pointless. So it was air hockey. I know, weird. Air hockey. So my my favourite arcade experience would be playing air hockey. I've got hair everywhere. I need to wash my hair. I would be playing air hockey with some of my friends because I never really went to the arcade. Yeah, so good question. I wish I had a better answer for you, Kirk. But that's it, air hockey. There you go. Okay. What's your holy grail game you want? Right now. Oh, sorry, I didn't say who that was from. That's from @SuperGameGuy. Alright, the holy grail game I want right now in my collection. It's a big ticket price, I will say that. And it's not a modern game. We're going back in time to the 90s, and it's probably one of the most expensive games to get your hands on, and that is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the Super Nintendo, Turtles in Time. That is the game I want on my shelf right now, and it is an expensive one. You're looking at around the $150 mark for a SNES cartridge. Yeah, a SNES cartridge for $150 Australian. It is a rarity, but I want to get my hands on it. It's a game I've wanted in my collection for a very, very long time. So right now, that is my holy grail game. That is the one I want the most. Okay, so thank you very much for that question. Okay, so next we've got @GamingWithB. I believe she streams as well, so go check her out. Gaming with B on Twitch. Awesome, keep up the great work. Questions: what made you want to start a YouTube channel? And what's your top 3 games you'd want to forget and play over again as if it was the first time? Okay, these are the last 2 questions, and I wanted to finish on this one because this is really, really cool questions and some thought has been put into this one. Okay. Top 3 games I'd want to forget and play over again as like I haven't played them. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for one. To re-experience that would be damn cool. What they're doing with that game as well, and this is a bit of a going off track, but I will get back on track, I promise. I will answer your questions. They're bringing that into the modern world in Unreal Engine 4, and I've played a bit of that. And when I put that on and they allow me to wake up in the Kokiri Forest all over again in like a HD remake, it's almost like I was learning the game all over again. And that was really damn cool, and experiencing some of that. And I want to play some more of that. But Jaysinn616, cool YouTuber that's done that kind of stuff. It's amazing. So that made me relive a little bit of Ocarina of Time again. But this is a damn good question, and Ocarina of Time will be the first one on that list. Because this is mainly story-based games to relive. I'm going to go with a bit of a random one here, and that would be The Last of Us. Because the story of that, man, it's an emotional roller coaster the entire way through. It's a goddamn emotional roller coaster and a damn good game. It was Game of the Year in 2013, was it? Has that been out 6 years? Holy shit. Okay, well, The Last of Us would be on that list for sure. What would my third game be and experience it for the third time? For the first time. It's really hard. It's really hard. I'm not quite sure. That's a toughie. I'm not quite sure. I don't know. What would I go with? Maybe. Alright. This is going sorry back to the Game Boy games. I would like to experience Pokemon Red or Blue again for the very first time. Because to me that was defining as well for handheld games. Because that was my very first open up to Pokemon. So that would be really cool to rediscover the entire Pokemon all over again as an adult. Because I was like very young back then. It would be very different to see if I would get into it now being the age I was compared to what I was back then. So yeah, I'm going to go with Pokemon Red and Blue, or Yellow if you want to throw it in. That's what the first one was that I played was Pokemon Yellow. But yeah, rediscovering the Pokemon franchise, because if I discovered it now, would I be into it with all the generations that have been to come? Or would I still just be biased to Generation 1 and Generation 2, which is kind of what I am? Yeah, be interesting to know. Would I be more into it than what I actually am now? So yeah, I'll go with that one. Yeah, Pokemon Red and Blue. Okay, what made you want to start a YouTube channel? This is the final question, and this is going to go a lot deeper than what most people think, and this is a really good question. Okay, drum roll. Hopefully I insert a drum roll sound effect in there, because that would be awesome. Okay, drum roll. Why I started this YouTube channel? Okay, this is gonna be deep. deep. I actually started this because I had nothing to do, and here's my reasons why. I announced a month ago in my reacting to myself, I actually said that I did professional wrestling. I did that for 9 years. I had some serious injuries doing that over the 9 years I was there. I worked mainly for one company. I won every single championship there was to win, including the Australian Championship in that company. I was the man on the top of the mountain. I was a face-painted freak, a complete psychopath. That was me. That's who I was. And injuries began to riddle me to the point where I was told I should stop in 2011, and I didn't stop until 2017. It was bad. To the point where injuries still riddle me. For one, my shoulders can just dislocate themselves, and I am a crazy idiot and I put my own shoulder back into place. I had some severe damage to my neck, which led me in a neck brace. And I was told that I wasn't going to be wrestling again, and that was back in 2011. Pretty much fractured 3 vertebrae in my neck and a blood clot in one of the arteries to my brain. So that was my diagnosis. I was told I was never going to wrestle again, and I had to be in a neck brace for a good 8 weeks, and then had to do a whole bunch of physio to get back, and it'd be about a year. So that's what I was told. I won the Australian Championship 2 months later, after my injury. Not after my recovery of 12 months, but after my injury. I cleared myself because I had an opportunity to go for a championship that I thought, holy shit, I can win this. And I won that. And I held that for about 9 months. So the entire part of my recovery, I was wrestling. And that was a very, very, very stupid fucking decision for me, because my neck hurts me every single damn day of my life. My movement had, it was my left side. I can turn my head to about there before it starts hurting. I can go to there before it starts hurting. It's got more on my right side. So yeah, due to that, I took many shots to my head. I actually suffer from very mild brain damage. When I do too much physical activity, sometimes I get woozy. I get vertigo. I almost pass out. I'm like seeing stars. So that pretty much put a stop to anything I was doing, and I pushed the limits more than I ever should have. And I pretty much was told, you can't do this anymore. It is done. You can't keep going. So yeah, in 2017, the company I was working for were being bastards. They didn't want to put me in to do much. I won everything there was to win, and they wanted no part of me anymore, so to speak. So I was thrown to the curb, and I thought, well, better time than now than to get out of a toxic environment, and a good time for me to hang up the boots and say, alright, this part of my life's done, because if I don't stop now, I'm going to end up killing myself. It's going down that way. So I was sitting at home and I didn't have that anymore. And when you do something that you love and that you're passionate for the best part of 10 years, and then you're told you can't do that, well, it drove me mental. I was at home just losing my shit. I wasn't a good person to be around. I was so fed up. I was so angry. That whole part of my life, that was where all my friends were. They just weren't there anymore. They were focused on that. And I learned that most of those people were there, not for me as a friend, but were there to leverage off of me to get somewhere else for themselves. Very selfish shit. So I had to get out of that toxic environment. So I was at home bored, and I didn't have anyone around me. It was pretty much just me and my partner versus the world. I had my family, love them, bless them. I lived an hour away from them, so I didn't really see him that often. But it was just me and her versus the world, and I like doing things. I can't sit there and do nothing. And like I said before, video games were a relaxing way for me. And I was just thinking, oh, sod it. Why don't I just try and do a channel or something? I said to my partner, I might just do a YouTube channel to pass some time. And she said, well, go for it. And I didn't want to start this until my channel was branded and I had the right equipment. I wasn't very well off with money, but I got a camera. I paid for programs. I already knew how to use Photoshop and edit. I do that for work, kind of lighting, green screen. I wanted the works, you know. This setup was never a thing back then. It was just in a small boxy little room in our old house. I've since moved. And I started there on microphone, a decent microphone, I needed that too. And I started there, and I asked my partner, who wasn't a graphic artist, who now could probably class herself as a graphic artist, who branded my channel. All the logos you see is mainly her and my partner, and she really backed me on that 100%, which was really nice. So I started this channel, and I never thought a year later I'd still be doing this kind of video. And you know, I thought I'd just put some videos up on YouTube. I ended up saying I'll do that once a week on Tuesdays. It ended up becoming Tuesdays and Fridays. That ended up becoming Tuesdays, Fridays, and you know, I'll stream on Twitch. You know, then I ended up getting Instagram. Then I was like, oh Jesus, what are we gonna do? I'll do a Halloween event. We'll host events. We'll do a few giveaways. It just kind of grew. Now, like, I post every Tuesday, every Friday. I do an expansion pack. I do, you know, events. I do, everything is going and it's running, and it's only going up from here. And I really love interacting with you guys, and hence why this video. So this channel has kind of grown. You know, we're over 100 subs now, which is something I thought, geez, who's going to want to watch a miserable guy play games? But it made me happy. It was the one thing that made me happy, and it still makes me happy to today. People go through rough times, and when you're feeling down, it's the environment that you guys put me in that makes me love this. And I'll forever appreciate everything. You know, I am watching, guys. You're not just another number. Yes, I want to grow my channel, but I want to, you know, I love interacting with all of you and getting your feedback. Sometimes getting shit feedback is better because you can evolve. You can do better at what you do. And trust me, we're a year and a bit in, and it's only the beginning. I've got so much more planned. I've got a really big goal to hit by the end of this year. I'm not going to throw in any spoilers there, but it is big. I've met some cool people doing this. Have given me opportunities that I don't even think I deserve, even still. So, yeah, I am only a small little goldfish in a massive ocean, but trust me, I will be the great white shark of my ocean in time. I'm not someone that gives up, and I love this so fucking much. Like, I want to make this. This is my thing. You know, I had a previous life. This is my life now. This channel is a part of me. It's not just a job. It is part of me, and that's why I love doing this, and that's why I started this channel. I was something missing. There was a hole in me that I needed to fill. and I thought it was going to be a temporary thing. Holy shit, it is not a temporary thing. So that is the last question, guys. Hopefully I've answered it to how you would like. I very, very much appreciate the questions as well. It's been a killer video. I like getting personal. I'm not afraid to... I'm not... Someone you see on camera sometimes isn't the person you see off camera. I strive to be as real of a person as I can be, because you know what? Why pretend to be someone you're not? Just why do it? This is me. I'm going to do another one of these Q&A videos in time, and I'm going to throw it out to you guys as well to ask some more questions and see what you fire back with, because I love this stuff. And if you want to leave any comments below asking me any more questions, I'll snoop out the comment section below so to see what you guys want to ask me any more, okay? So I'll sit in the comment section, I'll watch that so you can talk to me. And for those guys that have asked me questions, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You're not just another number, not just another number, guys, okay? I mean that. I really do appreciate it. I'm banging on a bit more now, so I'm gonna end this video up. So go follow these lovely people. They've been really, really good to me. Go follow them. They're really kick-ass people. Thank you very much, guys. Hopefully you've enjoyed this Q&A, and you know, remember, like the video, subscribe to my channel, all that stuff. Go follow all my other socials. It will be in the description below. Go check them out. You know you want to. After this video, I poured my heart out. Oh, you know you want to. Now go do it. I appreciate it, guys. Much love. We'll catch you next time. Bye.